This video is about Anita Sarkeesian. A significant portion of you just had a reflex reaction in the back of your head, and what that reaction was, Anita Sarkeesian is dumb, and you're only making the problem that she represents worse by talking about her. Everybody just needs to ignore her. She's ridiculous, her positions are ridiculous, what she does is ridiculous. Even feminists know she sucks. So just stop talking about her. I would like to counter by saying that it's probably never been more important to talk about Anita Sarkeesian. Not in the context of Gamergate, although I still think that's an important issue, but in the context of feminism itself. All right? Because the way I understand feminism is the strength of its popularity is not in what some people call third wave feminism or radical feminism or intersectional feminism, but in the very wishy-washy, ignorant, what most people probably do think it is. The whole feminism is about equality, and feminism is the radical belief that a woman is a human being. And bullshit like that. Even though feminist theory, feminist writings in academia, the people who are at the forefront of setting down the entire framework of what is feminist theory believe none of those fucking things, and the radical third wave modern feminism that turns most people off when they actually hear about it is what feminism has always been. The ugliest side of it is not the loud, outspoken minority, as I hear it called constantly. It is the backbone, the core of feminism, and it's still the majority, even though the hugely popular feminism is that fake, wishy-washy misinterpretation of it based, I think, solely on the Oxford English Dictionary. Anita Sarkeesian is not one of the wishy-washy women should be equal feminists. Anita Sarkeesian is not a feminism is the radical belief that women are human beings feminist. Anita Sarkeesian does not believe in empowerment feminism. Anita Sarkeesian doesn't believe that feminism is about strong women being equal. Anita Sarkeesian is one of those ugly minority feminists, even though she's hugely popular with the wishy-washy, ignorant feminists who think that it's all sunshines and roses and hippie hugging. If you haven't heard this quote, I'd be very surprised. But I think that everybody who's ever had a thought in their head or an opinion about Anita Sarkeesian needs to hear this. This is from her own mouth on a panel called How to Be a Feminist. Okay, so this is the part where I say things that may ruffle some feathers, but I think it's a critical discussion to have. Over the past few years, I've become increasingly worried about the direction mainstream internet feminism appears to be headed, at least in the West. Unfortunately, many contemporary discourses in and around feminism tend to emphasize a form of hyper-individualism, which is informed by the neoliberal worldview. More and more, I hear variations on this idea that anything that any woman personally chooses to do is a feminist act. This attitude is often referred to as choice feminism. Choice feminism posits that each individual woman determines what is empowering for herself, which might sound good on the surface, but this concept risks obscuring the bigger picture and larger fundamental goals of the movement by focusing on individual women with a very narrow individual notion of empowerment. It erases the reality that some choices women make have an enormous negative impact on other women's lives. So it is not enough to feel personally empowered or be personally successful within the oppressive framework of the current system. Even if an individual woman can make patriarchy work for her, it is still a losing game for the rest of the women on the planet. Anita Sarkeesian doesn't believe in equality feminism, or choice feminism, or empowerment feminism, or the radical belief that a woman is a human being feminism. Anita Sarkeesian believes in what is the actual academic framework, what you will learn not in Tumblr, although a certain number of the Tumblr feminists, the quote-unquote bad ones, the not real feminists, the loud, outspoken, disgusting minority, or the minority asshole feminists, are the ones that are actually expressing what you are taught in a gender studies class in an American or European university. What actual academic feminism is that is based on feminist theory written by prominent feminists from the past. You know, those second and first wave feminists who were the good guys, is the hateful, disgusting, sexist, racist, classist bullshit that doesn't give a fuck about empowerment or getting along or equality. It cares about exposing the white heterosexual capitalist patriarchy and is the man-hating feminists who drink out of white tears cups and protest men's rights facilities and send in bomb threats to men's rights meetings and fucking attack and viciously try to destroy any sort of shelter for abused men or anything like that. The ones that are the gross ones are the real ones. And believe it or not, the aberration, the reformed feminists, the not real feminists, are the ones that you got worried about the least, not the most. Feminism has always been built on the myth of patriarchy, this unfalsifiable boogeyman that asserts that, although it won't name anybody or any organization, that there is a system of patriarchal power that oppresses women systemically. None of these words are defined because their strength is in their vagueness, that they don't mean anything, and that they are not an actual framed epistemology. They're scary words. Scary language, as Carlin calls it. You are oppressed. But they won't define what oppression means. That oppression is systemic, but they won't tell you who the system is. And that men have all the rights, but they won't say what the rights are. Women are oppressed, and they won't say what the oppression is. It's all vague, scary language, propaganda, and hyperbole that is designed to provoke an emotional reaction. And it's built on constant double standards. Feminism cares about men. They will say that over and over again, and everything they say will prove otherwise. It's all hypocrisy, built on nebulous language, weasel words, and meaningless bullshit. And there's such a lack of education among what is really is the shored up strength, not the backbone, but the supporting structure that feminism depends on. These ignorant third wave feminists who actually, no matter what both feminists and people who are technically on my side suggest, most modern feminists in the present today are benign in their intentions, and it's likely not what they're trying to do, but is what they are doing that hurts men, creates sexism, expands racism and segregation thinking, promotes the whole safe space, the end of intellectualism and intellectual honesty, and the destruction of free speech. Even though they are by and large responsible for this, I actually believe them that it's not their intention to be doing so. That the act of destruction that they are participating in is to support the backbone of feminism, the actual feminism that's done by academics, by writers, by people like Anita Sarkeesian, who promotes this disgusting, bigoted horseshit. And that these same feminists, who probably honestly swear that they don't hate men, that they don't support misandry, or don't own a male tears cup, and just thinks, wow, women should be treated equally, even though they already are, who think Anita Sarkeesian is just so cool, and we all hate him because hate her, because we're all just neckbeards who are terrified of women, or jealous of women who are jealous of our spaces, and all this bullshit. They think that's why we don't like Anita Sarkeesian, and they think because Anita is young and new and hip and really a mover and shaker in the feminist community, that she couldn't possibly be a racist, sexist, liar, and a fraud and a cheat, even though that's what all her words support. Her own explanation of her own positions and the feminist thinkers whom she cites as her influences are the not real, ugly, bad, loud minority of assholes. But feminists are so commonly ignorant of their own fucking movement that they don't even know that when it's said right to their faces. Thanks for watching.